Announcements.
Mr. Speaker, sir, it is with deep regret that we have learned of the demise of Mr. Narendraj Veerasomi, former Member of Parliament, on Tuesday, 7th of November 2023, at the age of 81. Mr. Speaker, sir, Mr. Narendraj Veerasomi, commonly known as Mr. Dev Veerasomi, was born on 16th of March 1942 in Quartier Militaire. He pursued his studies at the St. Joseph College in Cupip, and after his school certificate, he attended the Royal College of Portvis to complete his secondary education. Thereafter, he proceeded to Scotland to pursue his tertiary studies in languages, literature, and linguistics at the Edinburgh University, and became holder of a diploma in applied linguistics and a Master of Art in English. Mr. Speaker, sir, Mr. Veerasomi started his career in the teaching profession. Later, he joined active politics, and in 1969, he became one of the founding members of the Mouvement Militant Mauricien. In 1970, Mr. Veerasomi contested the by-election for constituency number 5, Pamplemousse and Triolet, under the banner of the Mouvement Militant Mauricien, and was returned to serve as member of the then Legislative Assembly. He became the first member of the Mouvement Militant Mauricien to be elected to serve the then Legislative Assembly. In early 1972, Mr. Veerasomi was jailed for refusing to pay fine for contempt of court after making public comments regarding the then Labour PMSD-CM regime's handling of strike actions. In 1973, Mr. Veerasomi founded his own political party, namely the Mouvement Militant Mauricien Socialiste Progressiste. He also co-founded the trade union movement called Fédération des Travailleurs Unis. In 1976, Mr. Veerasomi contested the general election for the same constituency number 5, Pamplemousses and Triolet, under the banner of the Mouvement Militant Mauricien Socialiste Progressiste, but was not returned. After the breakup of the MMM in 1983, Mr. Veerasomi was one of the founders of the MSM Labour PMSD Alliance, which won the general elections. Mr. Veerasomi was subsequently appointed as cultural advisor to serve the then government. Mr. Speaker, sir, Mr. Veerasomi was well known for his literary work as playwright, novel, and poem writer. He was, above all, one of the fervent advocates of the Mauritian Creole, in which language he wrote regularly and translated a number of English and French texts. He composed songs in Creole, some of which are today part of the Mauritian cultural and artistic heritage. Mr. Speaker, sir, a few days before his demise, I had the opportunity to meet Mr. Veerasomi, and we candidly discussed on a broad number of subjects, including the future of the Mauritian Creole language and of the Republic of Mauritius. I can say he impressed me by his lucidity, although he was very much weakened by illness and age. The country will remember Mr. Veerasomi as a passionate militant who dedicated his life to promote and defend his ideas and ideologies. Mr. Speaker, sir, may I request you to kindly direct the acting clerk to convey the deep condolences of the Assembly to the spouse and the children of Mr. Narendraj Veerasomi and to the close members of his family.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I associate myself with the tribute made by the Honourable Prime Minister to late Dave Veerasomi, former Member of Parliament, and well-known and well-loved personality in Mauritius. Dave Veerasomi was born in the village of Goodlands. When he turned 3, there was an outbreak of polio, which caused him to lose mobility in his left arm. Despite this setback, he completed his school certificate with flying colors, and through a turn of events, Dave Veerasomi got admitted to the Royal College of Port Louis to complete his higher school certificate, which got him admitted into Edinburgh University. He obtained diplomas, including a diploma in higher linguistics for a dissertation entitled Towards the Re-Evaluation of the Mauritian Creole. Dave was married to Loga, and through this beautiful relationship of over 60 years came 2 lovely daughters, Saskia and Anushka. Mr. Speaker, after a hard-fought political career, Dave focused on his love of the Mauritian Creole language, making it his objective to get Mauritian Creole to be recognized not only as a language, but also as an identity. Throughout his career, Dave has translated and written over 4,000 literary works, be it poems, plays, books, and translation of the Bible, Bhagavad Gita, Holy Quran, amongst others. Mr. Speaker, Dave Veerasomi was a good friend of mine, and many politicians consider him not only as a friend, but also as a mentor. We would like, on behalf of the opposition, I would like to extend our deepest condolences to his wife Loga and daughters Saskia and Anushka. May I also request the acting clerk to convey our deepest condolences to the bereaved family. Thank you.
Honourable members, I associate myself with the tribute paid to the memory of late Mr. Narendra Veerasomi, former Member of Parliament, by the Honourable Prime Minister and the Honourable Leader of the Opposition, and I direct the acting clerk to convey the deep condolences of the Assembly to the bereaved family. Thank you. Honourable members, I have 2 announcements to make. Firstly, I have to inform the House that the National Assembly will be hosting the 54th Plenary Assembly session of the SADC Parliamentary Forum from 22 to 26 November 2023 in the Sir Harry Al-Baghdadi Memorial Hall under the theme, The Role of Parliaments in Promoting Coordination for Enhanced Disaster Risk Reduction and Recovery Planning in the SADC region. Some 110 delegates from 15 member countries of the SADC region, including Mauritius, are expected to participate in the plenary assembly. As a speaker, I will be leading the Mauritian delegation comprising the following designated honourable members: Honourable 2, Vice President of the SADC PF, Honourable E2, and Honourable Frank Schill. In addition, 5 honourable members have, from both government and the opposition side, will be nominated to attend the plenary assembly session as observers. Moreover, I have also invited the chairperson and 2 members of the Rodrigues Regional Assembly to attend the said conference as observers. Honourable members, I am pleased to announce that the Honourable Prime Minister has kindly agreed to grace the function as chief guest and will deliver the opening address on Wednesday, 22nd, 2023. Secondly, honourable members will recall that on Tuesday last, I gave a ruling requesting Honourable Juman to tender his unreserved apologies to the House following an unfounded statement he made to the press on the 5th November 2023 regarding the use of one of the committee rooms of the National Assembly. Later, after my ruling, during a press conference, Honourable Shakil Mohammed expressed the view that I ought to have referred the matter to the Director of Public Prosecutions for appropriate action under the National Assembly Privileges, Immunities and Powers Act. I wish to bring the following clarifications. Honourable members, for the House to proceed under the National Assembly Privileges, Immunities and Powers Act, the Speaker must be in presence of a notice of privilege complaint under Standing Order 74-1 from a honourable member requiring the intervention of the Speaker thereon, and I must point out that no such notice had been given. However, having regard to the serious misrepresentations of the facts by the honourable woman, I was bound to take immediate action in view of the responsibilities conferred upon me under Standing Order 78, and I could not allow this matter to remain unattended, which would otherwise bring Parliament into disrepute. Honourable members, I must also draw the attention of the House to the fact that during the said press conference, Honourable Shakil Mohammed further made certain unwarranted remarks towards the Chair. I thank you for your attention.
Papers have been laid. Questions?
Mr. Speaker, my question is addressed to the Honourable Minister of National Infrastructure and Community Development, whether in regard to cases of flooding along Old Moka Road, Quatre-Bornes, since January 2022 to date, causing the collapse of part of the wall of Saint-Jean Cemetery on Wednesday, 8 November 2023, and the subsequent damage caused to a number of tombs as well to houses situated along Colville Avenue and the adjoining roads. He will state the action undertaken, if any, indicating if contingency plans have been drawn up for the evacuation of residents thereat in case of need.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to thank the Honourable Leader of the Opposition to give me the opportunity to shed light on measures being taken to mitigate the problem of flooding and accumulation of water. Indeed, there has been torrential rainfall around the island on the 8th of November, affecting the region of Saint-Jean. But not only Saint-Jean, but also Martaba, Souillac, Saint-Félix, almost road of Chemin-Grenier, and some other villages in the south. However, since the question is specifically on Old Moka Road, Quatre-Bornes, I'll stick to it. Mr. Speaker, sir, following the flooding at Old Moka Road, Quatre-Bornes, on 19th January and 13 March 2022, a conceptual design for preliminary measures was worked out. It comprises the construction of a retention basin within the green space along Old Moka Road in view to limiting the flows toward the cemetery. However, after further survey, it was felt that the construction of the basin could create a structural instability to the foundation of the piles of the metro project at that locus. Accordingly, the solution was not retained. Another alternative solution envisaged was the rehabilitation and upgrading of the existing network, which would imply increasing the amount of stormwater being discharged into La Ferme Reservoir via the Trianon-Grosse Roche feeder canal. However, the Water Resources Unit was not agreeable to this solution, given that the amount of water stored at La Ferme Reservoir is controlled. Accordingly, this alternative too was not retained. Eventually, the construction of a detention basin together with an outlet along Old Moka Road was considered as a preferred solution, and further studies were required with respect to its capacity and feasibility. The project was consequently entrusted to the NDU. In view of the complexity of the works, the NDU appointed a consultant, Desai and Associate Limited, under its framework agreement to carry out the study and design. However, due to its contractual commitment, the latter could not carry out the study within the prescribed time. Subsequently, the NDU had no choice but to appoint a new consultant, namely Vias Consulting Engineer Limited, to assess the optimum solution in view to mitigating the flooding at Saint-Jean. The consultant submitted an urgent works design report on 6 April 2023, followed by a preliminary design report on 17 April 2023. On 24 April 2023, the LDA gave its agreement to proceed with the preparation of the detailed design report. On the other hand, the Water Resources Unit conveyed its no objection to the proposed design on the 2nd June 2023. Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm informed that the consultant submitted a first draft detailed design report on the 22nd June 2023. Thereafter, investigative works were subsequently carried out to confirm the corridor for the construction of the proposed drain as recommended by the draft DDR. These works required an excavation of 17 trial pits along the alignment, including the excavation across the A1 road. The contract for the investigative works were awarded on 19 September 2023 to Gamma Construction Limited for an amount of 700,000 rupees. These works started on the 29 September 2023 and were completed on the 27 October 2023. I'm informed that 2 telecom ducts of diameter 75 mm were found at a depth of 650 mm. 1 CWDI pipe of diameter 300 mm was found at a depth of 1,300 mm. Accordingly, the proposed drain alignment has been maintained and the detailed design report was approved on the 6th November 2023. The works comprise mainly, firstly, raising of the road with reinforced concrete retaining wall along Old Mocha Road over a stretch of 190 meters. Secondly, construction of a reinforced concrete covered drain of dimension 2 meters by 2 meters along the green space adjoining Old Mocha Road. Thirdly, construction of a culvert of size 1.5 meters deep by 2 meters wide across A1 Road. And fourth, construction of a drain along motorway M1 over a stretch of 570 meters of size 1.5 meters deep by 2 meters wide, which eventually discharges into Rivière Sèche. The scope of work is being finalized and the contract for implementation is expected to be issued first week of December 2023 at latest. The expected duration of work is 6 months. Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to also inform the House that yesterday itself, that is on the 13th November 2023, a meeting was held under the chair of Monseigneur Duron at l'évêché Port-Louis, in the presence of Honorable Minister of Environment, the Mayor of Municipal Council of Quatre-Bornes, the representative of Ministry of Health and Wellness, the NDU, and the LDA. The following recommendations have been agreed to. Firstly, immediate reconstruction of the boundary wall of Saint-Jean Cemetery in reinforced concrete by the Municipal Council of Quatre-Bornes. The National Infrastructure Division of my ministry will carry out a structural assessment of the boundary wall along Old Mocha Road and Broad Avenue to determine the stretch of the wall that has to be pulled down, reconstructed, or reinforced. Thirdly, installation of a floodgate at the main entrance of the cemetery along Old Mocha Road by the Municipal Council of Quatre-Bornes. Fourth, the construction of a swale by the NDU along the green space crossing A1 Road leading to Rivière Sèche. Fifth, in view of the historical nature of the cemetery, the l'évêché will undertake the cladding of the reinforced concrete wall by the existing stones to maintain its original cachet. Sixth, a committee chaired by the Minister of Environment and comprising all concerned stakeholders will meet initially on a weekly basis at the seat of the l'évêché to monitor the progress of works. An assessment of the sanitary condition of the cemetery, Saint-Jean Cemetery and its vicinity will be carried out by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. A communiqué has been issued to inform the public of the short and medium-term measures being undertaken. Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm further informed that the fencing of the cemetery has already been erected by the Ministry of Environment to secure the site pending the reconstruction of the wall. Cleaning of the tombs and cemetery will be undertaken by Ministry of Environment and Mori Facilities Limited. Moreover, the paroisse of Saint-Jean will undertake the rehabilitation of the tombs. I say this opportunity to express my solidarity with the families who have been affected by this unfortunate event, including those whose relatives are buried in the Saint-Jean cemetery. Mr. Speaker, sir, as regards the houses along Colville Avenue, Broad Avenue, and De La Faye Avenue, there has been water ingress in the yards and few houses located in low-lying areas. However, there has been no structural damage to any building thereat. Mr. Speaker, sir, with regard to a contingency plan for the evacuation of residents, I'm informed that the National Disaster Risk Reduction Management Act of 2016 provides for the safeguard of life of person in danger, including evacuation of person at risk. The measure is activated by the NEOC, that is the National Emergency Operation Command, whenever required. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Speaker, come to the last part first. On the 8th of November, Honorable PPS Joel gave a declaration to Radio Plus, and this is the verbatim. Là, pompiers besoin stand-by et que nous pouvons essayer d'informer ban du monde qui est dans possibilité de besoin évacuer. C'est parce qu'il vraiment est un danger, c'est pas parce qu'il nous envie de évacuer. This is your own ministry, the PPS of your own ministry, stating that on the 8th of November. This is why I am asking you, what is the plan that your ministry obviously is considering the evacuation of the poor inhabitants of that region? What is your plan?
I've replied already, Mr. Speaker, sir. I think the PPS has been very proactive, and we should thank her and congratulate her for being on the site at the material time. And yes, she has taken all required measures. Yes, the NEOC activate the evacuation plan whenever required, but there is also what you call the LEOC, that is the Local Emergency Operation Command, that's under the purview of the local authorities, that act whenever is required. So I don't think what we should have more. There is already an established protocol, and we go according to that established protocol. And this is exactly what the PPS has been doing.
The Minister will agree that this is the main body of my question. So I expect him to be prepared to answer. How many people are likely to be evacuated? Where will you evacuate them? Have you prepared somewhere for them to be received and for them to be fed? And what are the conditions? How much rainfall is going to fall, millimeters-wise, for you to activate this evacuation plan? This is in the main body of the question, so I expect the Honourable Minister to be prepared with a decent answer.
So I don't think what was not indecent was my answer so far, Mr. Speaker, sir. But since the leader of the opposition wants some more detail, let me give him some more details. So, according to a survey carried out by the local disaster management coordinator of the Municipal Council of Catrobon, 5 houses at Colville Avenue, 3 houses at Broad Avenue, 5 houses at De La Faye Avenue, 4 houses at Dumont Lane were impacted. Some had ingress of water in the house, and some water was only concerned in the yard.
Did you understand my question? What are the provisions that you have made to evacuate? But leave it if it's too difficult for you. We move on to another question. Now, I want to ask the Honourable Minister, since January 2022, 22 months ago, this whole saga has been proof of incompetence and slackness. I'll ask the Honourable Minister Now he's told us he's going to go for a drain. I understand now the drain across Old Mocha Road. But only in April, the same PPS and the municipality of Catobon in June were talking about construction of a pond. Now that is a few months ago. Now did you now leave for more than a year? You were on the construction of a pond, it would seem, according to your PPS, but now you have moved to the construction of a drain. Is that the situation now?
Mr. Speaker, sir, we could have gone with a quick fix solution, but this is not how we operate. The region of Saint-Jean, the region of Saint-Jean could not afford a quick fix solution due to the dense population of Saint-Jean. Yes, we have taken time to find a long-term solution, a sustainable solution, to resolve the problem for good and working in a holistic manner, which is the recommendation of the Land Drainage Master Plan. So as I've said in my main reply, the pond would have put to task the structural credibility of the metro structures. Then we could not discharge the water into Canal La Ferme. And we couldn't take that volume of water and bring it in a built-up area. So we had to find an optimal solution that will be able, in the face of climate change, take any amount of water that will eventually come. So, yes, so today we are building, so there is a difference between a retention pond and a detention pond. A retention pond is a pond that will fill and then will overflow. A detention pond is a pond that will be filled and the drain is at the bottom of the pond. That is, it gets filled and being evacuated at the same time.
Honourable Minister, you uttered one unparliamentary word. Would you please be kind to withdraw that word?
Yes, I withdraw. I hope
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to ask the Honourable Minister. Now, we all know that there was never before flooding on that road. Never before, and certainly not to this extent. It's undoubtable that it is since the construction of the Metro Express, the redesigning of a number of drains from Phoenix down to Saint-Jean, and the blocking, I'm told, of some drains to Pellegrin, that this situation has caused, in the words again of the Honourable PPS, the doubling of the water in the pipe, in the huge pipe that comes to Saint-Jean. Therefore, I'm going to ask you, who is going to pay for the damages to the tombs, to the houses, because the houses have been soiled by water coming from the cemetery. People have lost furniture, have lost electrical appliances, etc., with water coming from the cemetery, which is not a very pleasant thing. Therefore, who is going to pay for all this? Is it going to be the taxpayer, or is it going to be the Metro Express? Because never has this existed before 2022.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I think this question relates more to the Minister of Security Social, Minister of Finance, that look into the compensation of people who've suffered damages. My ministry is more the Minister of Infrastructure. We see what we are building. We build drains, we build roads, we build buildings, and this is what we are concerned with, and this is what we are doing. So, and I think I've also heard that the government will surely, we being a caring government, will surely look into eventual solution of how to help. And regarding of the rehabilitation of the tombs, I think there has been a meeting, I've replied already, with the Minister of Environment, with l'évêché de Port-Louis, and it has been agreed who is doing what.
So what has been agreed?
I've replied already, Mr. Speaker, sir. I've replied already.
Mr. Speaker, I am firstly shocked that he didn't attend himself the meeting at Lévichet. So he cannot tell us also what has been agreed, that something has been agreed. And the question, Mr. Speaker, is this. The flooding never occurred before Metro Express. That is a fact. Secondly, the EIA report has never been published, only a summary has been published, and neither has a land drainage management plan. Therefore, I will ask formally the Minister now that people are affected, even capable more, as your colleague has said, that you publish now the full EIA report. I think it was done by Singapore Corporation Enterprise, the full one, not the one by Larsen and Toubro, the full one, and also table the land drainage master plan.
Was that a question, Mr. Speaker, sir? We take note of what the opposition has said.
Mr. Speaker, coming to another one of his famous reports, that is the Suez report on flood-prone areas. Would you be surprised to note that none of these roads appear on your Suez flood-prone area master plan, and that, in fact, it shows a lot of doubt as to the reliability of the famous Suez master plan. Again, it's not public. I have a copy. It's not public. I would ask the Minister to make this third report, the Suez flood-prone area master plan. Please table it, because people are buying property and selling property not knowing that they are in flood-prone areas.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I think that question relates to Saint-Jean, very specifically to Saint-Jean, Old Moka Road. It will be good if we stick to Old Moka Road and Saint-Jean.
Mr. Speaker, I apologize if the questions are too complicated for my friend, but I thought it was normal that this is a flood-prone area, and it's not in your Suez report. What are you going to do about it, Mr. Speaker? I come back now to this EIA report. Now, this was exempted from the EIA requirement through a specific decision by the government of the day at that time in 2017, I think. Isn't it, will the Minister seriously consider tabling a copy of this EIA report, because it seems that the works have been done bric-a-brac?
Mr. Speaker, sir, regarding the EIA of the Metro, I think this is not under the purview of my ministry, and I cannot reply for another minister regarding the EIA report. But we'll take note of what the leader version is saying, and I'll convey.
Mr. Speaker, would the Honourable Minister agree with me that what has actually paralyzed the whole situation along Old Moka Road to the detriment of the population of Caterbourne has been the conflict, ongoing conflict, between the Minister of Environment and his own PPS, who cannot seem to agree on anything and never attend a meeting together. This I can show you, prove to you that meetings are held at the municipality and at the Lévichet only by one and the other, never the two together, although both have important responsibilities. Isn't it, in fact, the truth that this whole comes from a conflict between these two personalities?
Mr. Speaker, sir, I have already replied in details how my ministry, my very competent team of the LDA, my competent engineer under the purview of my chief project manager, the engineers of the RDA, and these engineers are qualified engineers that are working for the government of Mauritius. I stand guided by their expert advice. As far as other conflict the leader of the opposition is talking about, I don't think I will have to get into that.
I'd like to ask the Honourable Minister whether he is aware that I have it from information, I didn't go under the road myself, that there was a drain which took part of the water from Phoenix down to Pellegrin and on to Rivière Sèche. Has that drain been blocked since the construction of Metro Express?
Mr. Speaker, sir, today it's a fact that Mauritius is bustling with infrastructural development, north, south, east, west, center. And it's a matter of fact that any construction do bring some kind of change in the drainage pattern. That's a normal thing. But what's more important is today, our engineers are doing what needs to be done to mitigate. And we should know that when we talk about flooding, we are not talking about eradicating the problem. We are into mitigating. There is no dry fit policy. For instance, I know that's not your constituency. For example, what happened in Suyak. Suyak was not a flood-prone area. It was not under the purview, but it got flooded. This is what's happening with climate change today, because we've got 300 millimeters of rain in 12 hours. What type of drain infrastructure we will have to build to take that amount of water? And especially when we are operating in very built-up area, we have to build according to the space available. So, no, there was no drain blocked. There could have been, I need to check, but there could have been reorientation of few drains here and there. That's normal in construction. That's normal when we are building new roads. That's normal when we are building new bridges. So it's definitely not one element that will cause a change in pattern. We are building roads, we are building metro, we are building houses, we are building boundary walls. It's all contribute. It will be difficult to put your hand on one specific element. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I met the minister there on a side visit. It was fortuitous, that was not planned. About a year ago, you were looking at the big drain coming from Phoenix, and you look at the smaller drain going under the cemetery. So wasn't it obvious to your ministry, the Land Development Drainage Authority, specialized agency, the Metro Express, and this is why we asked for EIA report, that this drain under the cemetery was far too small in diameter to cater for the water coming out of the huge drain you can walk inside under the Phoenix, from Phoenix coming to Saint-Jean. Did it need, I mean, I'm sure you saw it, did you not, Minister? See that there was smaller drain, bigger drain? I mean, why at that time, more than a year ago, when you were on site visit there, was nothing done to sort out the situation?
Mr. Speaker, sir, when we are talking about building drains, it's not like you can't do it overnight. It has been studied, been done. We have had a holistic approach regarding the whole region of Saint-Jean. And as I have said, we cannot, what the leader of the opposition maybe is trying to say, we should have upgraded, make a bigger drain that will go through the cemetery of Saint-Jean. But that would have tantamount to bringing now a large amount of water into a built-up area, into the residence of people. This is not what we want to do. We want to take out the water. What we are doing now, this is a solution. It has taken time to come to that solution, but I'll also agree, it's a challenge sometimes to get the engineers to agree among themselves because, they have sometimes opposing opinions, which are, I think, good and healthy for the running of our institutions. But at the end of the day, we have agreed on one solution, and that will be implemented now in the days to come.
My last question, because I've listened to my colleagues, my last question, if I can have my microphone, thank you very much. My last question is this. It's quite clear that it is the fault of Metro Express, the government itself, maybe the wastewater authority, whatever it is else, the RDA, the understaffed LDA, it is their fault. So I will ask the Minister formally to say that he will organize for compensation, not only to the church for the war and to the poor relatives of the dead who have been the tombs have been disturbed, destroyed, moved by the water, and the poor inhabitants of Colville and the adjoining streets, they need compensation, because nobody would like to be in this situation. They need compensation, and government take its responsibility towards the inhabitants of Quatre-Bornes? That is my question.
We are a government that has always taken our responsibilities toward the citizen of the country, and the citizen knows better. And this government will always do what's best for the population. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. My question has to do with procedure. Can I ask the Honourable Minister whether all the deviations that the Leader of Opposition has mentioned just now, his MP in Quatre-Bornes, with respect to the Metro Express, deviation of drains, can I ask the Honourable Minister whether the LDA has approved all those deviations? And if he doesn't have the answer, the officers are here.
Mr. Speaker, sir, everything that concerns drains in the country are done under the purview of the LDA.
Mr. Speaker, I have a last question with your permission.
No, wait a minute. No, I am the speaker. You have a last question? Put your
You are the speaker. You found that out. Very good. Very good. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to ask you, I'm sorry, about the Honourable Minister. There was talk of a construction of an absorption drain along Colville Avenue of 56 meters. I have not picked it up from his answer whether this construction of absorption drain along Colville Avenue is still d'actualité, or has it now been cancelled?
Mr. Speaker, sir, there are some projects. Let me tell the Leader of the Opposition and inform the House that it's not we are not encouraging at the LDA level to do absorption pits, because it works once and then it doesn't work again. It's a waste of money. This is why we are into a more holistic approach. We want to take the water to a discharge point. But sometimes I do understand the local authorities, when there is an urgency, okay, they try, then they come and they make an absorption pit that will eventually take the water to a safe outlet. But I'll also try to say, Mr. Speaker, sir, I do understand my officers. Sometimes when they go too quickly, this is also being questioned. Why you went quickly? Why you given this contract? Why this one? And then they go through this mud slinging exercise that they now a bit used to. So I understand sometimes they try to be overcautious, and this is what happened. Then the project tend to take a bit longer to be executed. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Time is over. Prime Minister's question time. I now call Honourable 2. B1441.
It's good to recall the flood in Port Louis at that time. Yeah. How many died? How many died? And what was the stance of government at that time? What did you do? What did you do to compensate? People
Both
passed
sides
away.
of the House, Leader of the Opposition and Leader of the House, please. Prime Minister's question time.
I'm just reacting to what he said. There was no compensation. And people's lives, people passed away.
Well, you should learn now from this.
We learn from people who passed away.
Again, this is Prime Minister's question time. Honourable members, Leader of the Opposition, Leader of the House, both leaders. Prime Minister's question time, please carry on.
We have to learn from. Anyway, Mr. Speaker, sir, the Mauritius Police Force is unique in nature, and its challenges and priorities differ from other law enforcement agencies, as it is the only agency responsible for both internal and territorial security. It also plays a crucial role in maintaining law and order, preventing crime, addressing gender-based violence, the protection of the environment, intervention during natural disasters, and ensuring the safety and security of the citizens in Mauritius, Rodrigues, and the outer islands, as well as foreign nationals on visit or residing on our territory. The Mauritius Police Force is organized into various divisions, branches, and units, each having distinct roles and responsibilities to provide specific services to the community. In order to fulfill its mandate, the police requires a multi-talented workforce with the required traits, knowledge, skills, and experience to provide the highest level of service delivery to the nation. The police force thus considers its human resources as its most important asset. In view of the continuous development of the Mauritian policing landscape, and given the complex nature of policing, it is essential that the human resource capabilities of the force are realigned so that the organization meets the present and upcoming challenges efficiently and effectively. There is a need to have an adequate number of trained and experienced police officers at every operational level to deliver service to the community in an effective and efficient manner. Mr. Speaker, sir, recruitment and promotion are two fundamental components of the management of human resources in any organization, including the public sector and the police force. Recruitment in the police force pertains to the need to continuously sourcing adequate number of officers as per budgetary provisions to enable the police force to deliver effectively its mandate to enforce and maintain law and order in Mauritius. On the other hand, promotion which is associated with higher responsibilities and increase of salary provide police officers with a career development which positively influence their motivation, performance, and commitment to the job for better public service delivery. Unfortunately, it is a fact that prior to the year 2014, promotion to the grade of police sergeant in this vital sector, which is responsible for the security of Mauritius, have been low in numbers. And during the years 1995 to 2000 was nil. This led to demotivation and low morale of officers, impinging on service delivery and efficiency. The police force, which was facing new and serious challenges to maintain law and order, was poorly manned. It is precisely for this reason that in our government program 2015-2019, we undertook to provide the police force with inter alia, a more conducive environment, in addition to modern equipment and state-of-the-art technology. New incentives were proposed to be introduced to reward performance and encourage degree holders to join the force. In the same vein, in our manifesto of 2019-2024, we pledge that police corporals and police constables, both male and female, reckoning at least 20 years of service, would be promoted to the grade of police sergeant upon vacancies occurring. This measure was meant to strengthen the police force by providing more officers at supervisory level for better control, and at the same time as recognition for good performance in the delivery of quality service at the front line. It is an undeniable fact that such exercises contribute immensely to maintain high morale and keep a dedicated and motivated workforce, impacting positively on our quest to enhance security and preserve social harmony in our country. In this endeavor, the government is providing all the necessary support to meet the staffing needs of the police in order to provide a quality service to the community. In the budget speech 2021-2022, it was announced that over the next 3 years, 4,000 police officers would be recruited, and some 1,457 police officers would be promoted to the rank of police sergeants. Moreover, on 19th January 2022, I launched the Police Strategic Plan 2022-2025, which lays down 9 strategic priorities, each comprising a host of activities and projects which are currently under implementation. Strengthening human resource management and enhancing motivation and morale of personnel are 2 main pillars of our strategy in the maintenance of law and order. Mr. Speaker, sir, recruitment and promotion of officers in the police force rest on the Disciplined Forces Service Commission, which has been established under Section 90 of the Constitution and vested with powers in relation to the function conferred upon it under Section 91. Accordingly, recruitment of police officers in the Mauritius Police Force is made at 2 levels. 1, entry at the level of temporary police constables for both males and females, and 2, entry at the level of cadet officers. Wherever vacancies for the posts of police constables, women police constables, are reported to the DFSC, the latter, after approval, carries out the selection exercise in all transparency among candidates having the required profile and attributes. The criteria for the appointment of police constables, women police constables, as per their schemes of service, are that candidates should, inter alia, A, possess a Cambridge school certificate with at least a pass in English language, French language, and mathematics, or principles of accounts, or passes obtained on 1 certificate at the General Certificate of Education ordinary level, either 1 in 5 subjects, including English language, French language, and mathematics, or principles of accounts, with at least grade C in any 2 subjects, or 2 in 6 subjects, including English language, French language, and mathematics, or principles of accounts, with at least grade C in any 1 subject, or an equivalent qualification acceptable to the Disciplined Forces Service Commission. B, not be less than 18 years and not more than 30 years. And C, have a good physique, and they should be able to undergo strenuous physical exercise. They should have a normal eyesight and also satisfy the minimum height requirement of 1.70 meters and chest measurement of 84 centimeters for males and a height of 1.63 meters for females. The recruitment and selection process also comprises a height screening test a physical measurement test, a physical aptitude test, a medical test, including a drug test, a background check to ascertain whether they have a clean criminal record, and finally, an interview by the DFSC. With regard to cadet officers who are required to be degree holders, different criteria apply for their recruitment depending on where they have to operate at a higher level in the different specialized units of the police force, such as pilots in the helicopter squadron, engineers in the SMF, or mechanical workshop. Mr. Speaker, sir, I am informed by the Commissioner of Police that previously applications for the post of police constables, women police constables, were made directly to the DFSC via the prescribed form PSC Form 7. But as from May 2014, potential candidates wishing to apply for enlistment in the police force are requested to call in person at the Gymkhana grounds under the supervision of the Special Mobile Force and a team of officers from the DFSC in alphabetical order to register themselves as candidate and to fill in the prescribed application form for the height screening test. After passing the height screening test and verification of their educational certificates, on the same day, they undergo a physical measurement test for the purpose of ascertaining as to whether they satisfy the physical requirements. Qualified candidates are thereafter convened for the physical aptitude test, followed by medical tests and interview. The physical aptitude test involves, for male candidates, a stamina test of 2 kilometers in 12 minutes, abdominal curl of 15 repetitions, heaving of 6 repetitions, and vertical jump of 35 centimeters difference.
Honourable Member, this is not the way to address the chair. Quiet. Honourable Member, this is not the right way to address Parliament, the chair. You should ask a point of order. And I should allow the point of order. You never asked. Sit down, quiet. Prime Minister, continue. You're wasting the time. You are wasting the time.
You're shouting for no.
I have no other point of order to reply to. You come.
Can I raise a point of order?
No point of order. I have said no point of order. Why? Honourable Prime Minister.
So, where was I? Heaving of 6 repetitions and vertical jump of 35 centimeters difference. And for female candidates, stamina test of 1 kilometer in 6 minutes 30 seconds, abdominal curl of 12 repetitions, and vertical jump of 25 centimeters difference. There is no barbell. Don't worry, there is no lifting of those barbell pin. So qualified candidates are thereafter interviewed by the DFSC. After the selection exercise, the DFSC submits the list of successful candidates to be offered appointment as police constable, women police constable, to the Commissioner of Police. The successful candidates are consequently offered temporary appointment by the Commissioner of Police and are requested to assume duty at the police training school they are subsequently offered substantive appointment if they successfully complete the training. Mr. Speaker, sir, with a view to recruiting the best qualified officers in the police force, a new scheme of service was introduced on 25th of June 2019 for police constable and women police constables under Regulation 16 of the Disciplined Forces Service Commission regulations, whereby candidates have to undergo medical and psychological tests, including blood and urine tests to detect drug misuse prior to selection, as well as during their training period. Mr. Speaker, sir, promotion to the post of police sergeant in the Mauritius Police Force is governed by Regulations 14 and 19 of the Disciplined Forces Service Commission regulations, and is made by way of A. Competitive examination, B. Promotion in specialized unit, or C. Seniority. As such, police constables, women police constables who have completed 5 years service in a substantive capacity are eligible to sit for the competitive examination for appointment to the grade of police sergeant, women police sergeant. Police corporals, women police corporals are also de facto eligible to sit for the competitive examination. Where vacancies occur within the approved structure of a specialized unit and subject to the recommendation of the Commissioner of Police, the DFSC may promote the recommended offers. Is there a point, the point of order from Leader of the Opposition?
Be polite.
No, you have
Be
the point
polite.
of order?
Don't stop the proceedings of the House. We are in a civilized parliament. Please.
Can I raise a point of order, please?
No point of order. No point of order. No point of order. Prime Minister, continue. I do not allow fraudulent point of orders. Continue.
Can you hear it first, please?
So,
Can you please
Continue.
hear it first?
Don't disrupt the proceedings of the House.
I'm asking
Continue.
for your permission.
I have said no point of order.
Why?
Continue.
so where vacancies occur within the approved structure of a specialized unit and subject to the recommendation of the Commissioner of Police, the DFSC may promote the recommended officers in a substantive capacity if no supersession is involved. However, in cases of supersession of qualified officers in the regular force, the recommended officer will, in the first instance, be considered for an assignment of higher duties before promotion in a substantive capacity, either A, in his normal turn, or B, after having satisfactorily completed a minimum period of 6-month assignment, whichever is the earlier. Mr. Speaker, sir, promotion to the grade of police sergeant, woman police sergeant, are also made as and when vacancies arise on the basis of experience, merit, suitability, and seniority from officers from the grade of police corporal, woman police corporal, and police constable, woman police constable, reckoning an aggregate of at least 20 years service in a substantive capacity in the grade of police corporal, woman police corporal, and police constable, woman police constable, provided they, 1, are physically and mentally fit, 2, have a clean record, and 3, have been awarded the President Long Service Medal and Good Conduct Medal. This new mode of appointment was introduced by my government in the year 2020. Mr. Speaker, sir, In regard to Part A of the question, I am informed by the Commissioner of Police that since January 2020 to 10th of November 2023, 83 police constables and 607 police corporals have been promoted police sergeants on the basis of seniority and merit, making a total of 690. Mr. Speaker, sir, in regard to Part B of the question, I am informed by the Commissioner of Police that procedures have already been initiated for the recruitment of 1,000 temporary police constables, male and female. The vacancy for the post was advertised on 17th of April 2023 for Mauritian candidates and on 3rd of May 2023 for candidates domiciled in Rodrigues. The selection procedure is in the process of being completed. Mr. Speaker, sir, I also wish to inform the House that since January 2015 to 9th of November 2023, 2,804 trainee police constables, that is 2,402 males and 402 females, and 28 cadet officers, that is 22 males and 6 females, have been enlisted in the Mauritius Police Force. Mr. Speaker, sir, despite the COVID-19 pandemic and the Ukraine-Russia conflict, which have adversely impacted on the world economy during the past years, my government has continuously invested in areas which are essential for the effective functioning of the public service, including the police force. In spite of limited financial resources, we have consistently invested in our human resources through judicious recruitments and promotions to keep alive the legitimate aspirations of our police officers. We are committed to provide quality policing service to ensure that Mauritius is safe and secure for all our citizens and foreigners alike. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. In his reply, the Honourable Prime Minister mentioned the need for degree holders to operate at higher levels. May I ask him to inform the House of the measures that have been initiated to encourage degree holders to join the police force?
Mr. Speaker, sir, I am informed that a special scheme has been put in place in the Mauritius Police Force for candidates holding degree in specialized fields such as law, information technology, communication, journalism, and civil and mechanical engineering, amongst others, in order to encourage them to join the police force. Once enrolled in the force, they are provided with tailor-made training in renowned police academy or training institutions abroad, and upon successful completion thereof and satisfactory performance during the on-the-job training in different branches and units of the force, they are eligible for promotion to the rank of Deputy Assistant Superintendent of Police. They are equally given the opportunity to follow local and overseas courses in leadership and management and in the relevant field of their qualification, with a view to enabling them to improve their knowledge and sharpen their skills. And such trainings are aimed to enable them to discharge their duties efficiently.
Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you. In view of the allegation made in some quarters with regards to the competitive examination carried out prior to promotion in police force, can the Honourable Prime Minister provide assurances concerning the integrity of those examinations?
Mr. Speaker, sir, examinations in relation to promotions in the police force, first of all, they are carried out by the Disciplined Forces Service Commission, which is an independent institution of the Republic. the integrity of those examinations cannot be challenged by frivolous allegations. And it is deplorable that some people, including, of course, some members of the opposition, are systematically disrespecting and throwing mud at our institutions. And I'm sure they will have to bear the consequences of their acts and comments. Our institutions are assuming their responsibilities diligently and are delivering as per their respective mandate. And that is in itself an assurance for the population. And need not for me to remind this House, there was a time under the Labour and PMSD government when we had one, I think, well-known former member of parliament by the name of Dhiraj Singh Kamaljit, who had stated publicly that the way that the PSC would recruit people is that he would see to it that even on holidays they would make applications and they would tamper with all these applications. I don't need to remind them of what was said at that time. And that is why, Mr. Speaker, sir, I took time to give all the details with regard to how recruitment and promotions are done by the DFSC.
Thank you, Speaker. Can Honourable Prime Minister state whether consideration is being given to test police officers on drug misuse on a regular basis? Thank you. Yeah,
this, Mr. Speaker, sir, this is also new because previously there was no such kind of test. And I'm informed that now we are going to give, in fact, consideration to try to introduce the testing of police officers on a continuous basis, because we want those officers, of course, not only to be physically fit, healthy, but of course that they should themselves comply with the laws of Mauritius.
Can the Honourable, since he stated the number of police constable and police corporal being promoted to the rank of police sergeant, can the Honourable Prime Minister state the procedures for promotion of police constable to police sergeant?
Well, Mr. Speaker, sir, I am informed by the Commissioner of Police as follows. The vacancies, first of all, are reported to the Discipline Forces Service Commission, together with the recommendation on a number of funded vacancies that are to be filled and a draft advertisement. A statement of vacancies is also submitted. The DFSC then will consider the recommendation and request the Office of the Commissioner of Police to advertise the post by way of publication in routine orders. The DFSC carries out the selection exercise under Section 17 of the DFSC regulations, which stipulates that the Commission shall determine the procedure to be followed in dealing with applications for promotion, including the proceedings of any selection board appointed by the Commission to interview candidates and the forms to be used in connection with the discharge of its functions. In case of police constable to police sergeant, the selection exercise consists of a written examination under an approved syllabus, and the date of the examination is published in the routine orders. After the examination, the DFSC submits the list of successful candidates for promotion together with the pro forma offer of promotion. And the successful candidates are notified by the Office of the Commissioner of Police, and they will be requested to assume duty to their respective division. Promotion may also occur now based on seniority from police officers, from the grade of police corporals, including for both males and females, and police constables for both male and female, reckoning an aggregate of 20 years of service in a substantive capacity in the grades that I have just mentioned, provided they are physically and mentally fit, have a clean record and have been awarded the President Long Service Medal and Good Conduct Medal. And the DFSC then may also promote officers in a substantive capacity within the approved structure of the specialized units should, of course, vacancies occur, and upon the recommendation, of course, of the Commissioner of Police.
Honourable Member, the table has been advised that the following PQs have been withdrawn: B1445, B1446, B1448, B1449, B1451, B1452, B1453. Time over. Parliamentary questions. I now call
B1454.
Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir. I'm informed by the Municipal City Council of Port Louis that it does not have any project for the construction of health track at Pai. However, recently a new health track has been constructed at the corner of Condé No. 1 and Parish No. 4 near Pai State Secondary School by the Municipal City Council of Port Louis by in-house labor. Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm also informed by the National Development Unit that it has a project for the construction of a health track at Bonnefin, Pai, for this financial year, and the approved project value is 5 million rupees. However, on the advice of the Minister of Environment, the former parliamentary private secretary of the constituency has made a request for the project to be replaced by 4 other projects for a total amount of 5 million rupees, namely at Boundary Wall, Beethoven Street, Richelieu, fixing of outdoor gym at Saint-Louis, fixing of outdoor gym equipment, Leisure Park, Richelieu, and fixing of outdoor gym equipment, Boston, Grand Rivière Nord-Ouest. The approval of the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning Development has already been obtained by the National Development Unit on the 8th of November 2023.
Could the Minister inform the House that the project that was abandoned on Bonnefin Road, has there been a feasibility study before the previous PPS abandoned the project?
Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm been told that the problem at that place that was initially, identified for the health track is, you have some problems there. You have rockfall on the side of the mountain because just like we have problem on the Signal Mountain near Marie-Reine de la Paix, on the other side of Signal Mountain, you have the same problem with rockfall, and that's why this health track could not be we could not start with that project at that particular time.
Honourable 2.
B1455.
Speaker, sir, the Active Mauritius strategy initiated by my ministry in July 2019 in alignment with the National Sport and Physical Activity Policy 2018-2028 extends over a 5-year period. The Mauritius Sports Council, MSC, has been entrusted with the task of implementing a key pillar of the policy, which is the fostering of a culture of community sports and physical activity to contribute to a fitter and healthier nation. The primary objective of the Active Mauritius, operating under the purview of the MSC, is to engage at least 35% of the population to meet the World Health Organization's recommended levels of physical activity by 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm informed that in order to achieve this ambitious goal, the MSC has established various programs, including 1. Move It, targeting individuals aged 5 to 13 years old. 2. Youth on the Move, catering to those aged 14 to 24 years old. 3. Aging Well, tailored for individuals aged 25 to 64 years old. 4. Elderly Fitness, geared towards citizens aged 65 years and older. 5. National events, including celebration of the World Walking Day. 6. After-school sports and fitness program encompassing both primary and secondary students. 7. Outdoor education program. 8. Vulnerable youth program conducted in collaboration with governmental and non-governmental organizations. And 9. Natation scolaire targeting all grade 4 students. I'm further informed by the MSc that as at October 2023, some 600,000 beneficiaries of the above mentioned programs have been recorded since the launching of Active Mauritius. Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm delighted to share with the House that the commendable efforts of the MSc in promoting sports for all have gained global recognition. At the beginning of November 2023, the Association for International Sports for All, TAFISA, honored the MSc with the prestigious TAFISA Mission 2030 Policy Award, acknowledging the commitment of the latter to advancing the sport for all movement. Thank you.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Pourrais-je demander à l'honorable ministre quelles sont les actions qui sont mises en place pour encourager les femmes à faire plus de sport par rapport au programme?
Monsieur le Président, la Commission nationale du sport féminin, CNSF, existe depuis plus d'une vingtaine d'années et depuis la mise en place de Active Mauritius, la CNSF collabore étroitement avec le Mauritius Sports Council pour développer et aussi mettre en pratique plusieurs programmes qui visent à encourager les dames à pratiquer une activité physique et sportive. Et pas plus loin qu'au mois d'octobre, en même temps aussi pour contribuer dans la campagne de prévention contre le cancer du sein, la CNSF et Active Mauritius avaient organisé une grande rencontre de dames pour les encourager à pratiquer une activité physique et cela a vu la participation de plus d'un millier de dames à Côte d'Or.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Je voudrais demander à l'honorable ministre si, depuis le lancement de la stratégie d'Active Mauritius, s'il a pu noter s'il y a une augmentation, c'est-à-dire s'il y a plus de personnes, grâce au programme proposé, qui pratiquent plus de sport aujourd'hui.
Oui, Monsieur le Président, je cite le survey de 2021. Donc, Mauritius Non-Communicable Diseases Survey 2021, je cite, there has been an increase in the percentage of persons undertaking physical activity. Bien sûr, on ne s'arrête pas en si bon chemin. Nous continuons à encourager toute la population à pratiquer une activité physique et sportive. Et d'ailleurs, cet exemple vient de la tête même du pays, c'est-à-dire l'honorable Premier ministre qui lui-même ne manque jamais dans des discours d'encourager la population à pratiquer une activité physique et sportive et que lui aussi, lui-même et toute l'équipe nous donnons l'exemple en participant régulièrement dans des activités telles que le World Walking Day et bientôt le 12 Hours Run. Et donc on encourage tout le monde à venir pour le 12 Hours Run en novembre. Donc, c'est de cette façon-là que nous, de notre côté, nous encourageons la population à pratiquer une activité physique et sportive. Il va sans dire, Monsieur le Président, que nous savons très bien qu'il y a beaucoup de membres de l'opposition aussi qui essayent de pratiquer des activités physiques et sportives. Lève de la boque vide. Merci.
Next question, Honorable Leopold.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. B1456.
Speaker, sir, I'm informed that for the last 23 years, that is from the year 2000 to 2023, out of around 18,000 deliveries conducted, Rodriguez has registered 9 cases of maternal death, 1 in 2000, 1 in 2001, 2 in 2002, 1 in 2010, 2 in 2015, 1 in 2022, and 1 in 2023. The most common cause being postpartum hemorrhage. Other causes of maternal death are antepartum hemorrhage, cardiomyopathy, complications of abortion, ectopic pregnancy, and pulmonary embolism. Since maternal death in Rodrigues has a sporadic pattern, it will need to be closely monitored and assessed further. Mr. Speaker, sir, in regard to part B of the question on maternal death, which occurred in 22 and 23, the personal details of the patient cannot be revealed. However, suffice it to say that both patients had issues during the antenatal care follow-up. Mr. Speaker, sir, my ministry has elaborated a maternal and child health handbook in 2021, which has been reviewed in 2023. The Maternal and Child Handbook is a booklet containing information on safe pregnancy, delivery, and child health, and serves as a health record. It ensures continuity of care and provides health education to parents. Moreover, preconception care clinics have been implemented in primary health care centers, namely in area health centers and mediclinics. Preconception care is the optimization of the health of women and couples before conception, thereby reducing behaviors of individual and environmental factors that contribute to poor maternal and child health outcomes. Furthermore, my ministry is currently reviewing clinical guidelines for gynecologists, obstetricians, and pediatricians to further improve the quality of care. My ministry is also conducting sensitization sessions in maternal and child health in community centers and social welfare centers to create awareness among the population on the importance of antenatal follow-up and support to pregnant women. Additionally, regular CME and refresher courses are organized by health professionals to improve knowledge and skills in better managing obstetric cases. Mr. Speaker, sir, my ministry is also in the process of implementing the concept of maternal and perinatal death surveillance and response, MDSR, which is recommended by the WHO. This project will be extended to Rodrigues Island as well.
And the Honourable Minister informed the House whether the 2 women who died this year, they have predisposing factors which may cause their death.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir, just not to be very specific on the personal issues of these patients, but as I said in my reply, that they have a lot of issues during their antenatal follow-up.
Yes, it's a little bit common now that the causes of death of those persons, doctors always put pulmonary embolism. Would the Honourable Minister consider of doing post-mortem on all women who died with complication of maternal death?
Mr. Speaker, sir, unless the cause of death is not clear, then these patients, they are referred to the police medical officer for post-mortem examination and report. So it's, if the cause of death is already cleared by the treating doctors, so then there is no process of going for a post-mortem examination. So that has to be, unless this is a recommendation, a guideline from some agencies, then we can conduct post-mortem examination.
Table has been advised that the following PQs, B 1457, B 1501, B 1508 have been withdrawn. Honourable members, I will now suspend the sitting for an hour and a half.